Okay, let's get it. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut and paste this. What's up, Trax? How's it going? Nice to see you on the chat. All right, MGTOW, Elder MGTOW, saw yours. Put the link inside the chat. Um, huh, interesting. I'm trying to figure how do you correlate with YouTube, or you can see like YouTube comments on here because I am on Live on comments, logo, camera, audio. Close this out. That's good, man. Elder Monk, did you get the link StreamYard? Because trying to get, okay, there you go. Hey, what's up, man?
There we go.
There we go. What's up?
So I I have to disagree with your statement because
What
I'm
is?
living proof that you can rebuild yourself.
No, 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 no. No, it's not that. I'm just saying that. No, what I'm saying like how like people trying to like degrade like masculinity and stuff. Like people trying to know like degrade or emasculate. There's like emasculation. I think I probably misinterpret things. But
Oh,
at the
no
end,
problem.
of it, huh?
No problem. Well, I say as a shorthand, you should not be looking to anyone else to put a label on you. You
Right.
have to define yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Haters gonna hate, and
Mm-hmm.
there are some people that want to drag you down with them just because, yeah, if they're not in charge, they're going to take their ball and go home, or
Right.
they would just want to watch the world burn, or they get pleasure off your pain.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that,
Exactly.
it is manipulating language to make you feel guilty when you didn't do
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Right. No, I was just saying like the media is trying to like have like masculinity. But like yeah, just have like you said, you have to have like self validation within yourself, not with others. Um like
Well,
my
I actually have to qualify that just a little bit.
mm-hmm,
Even a monk like me needs validation,
mm-hmm,
and I get it from the my inner circle of red pill brothers.
mm-hmm,
No, this label is one I put on myself, and I
mm-hmm,
got validation from people acknowledging it, saying, "Yeah, yeah, you deserve to call yourself that." Like, you know who
mm-hmm.
Hammerhand is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
he did a live stream last night, and he read off several of my comments. When
Mm-hmm,
usually he's ignoring me, so it's like, wow, he's acknowledging, giving me bona fide points too, and that made me very happy.
mm-hmm,
But you got to seek it from other sources. When you're in the blue
mm-hmm,
pill world, it was from chasing women. But now
mm-hmm.
that we know women are zero value added, you got to get it from another source.
Right.
And the biggest issue is people won't admit they still need to do that. But
Exactly.
it's like the difference between crazy and insane. If you're
Mm-hmm.
crazy, you know you're crazy. you're like a
Mm-hmm.
functioning alcoholic, or the guy that's working so hard, but suddenly the crack pipe is available. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you got an issue, but you're dealing with it. But if you're somebody like Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer, according to you, everything's fine. It's just a coincidence
Mm-hmm.
that people are dropping like flies around you,
Right.
and they're the dangerous ones, man, because you never know what motivates them or what's going to make them snap.
Yes. And hold on just a second, Elder Monk.
Oh,
Hold on
no
just
problem.
no, that's okay. I didn't this been
Hang
here.
on, I got you.
I know this Rick. Okay. All right. Hey, all right, I'm back.
No problem.
All right. Crud. Where's my bottle? Okay. Oh. Yeah, I talked with my mom about the traveling agency. Ugh. About traveling next summer, going to Jamaica and stuff.
Ooh, good deal.
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
travel while you're young and you can afford to, because
indeed.
that opportunity may not happen again.
Exactly. Yeah, I got my passport already. I just need to utilize it. It's just that I'm like saving money to like travel outside the states and inside the states. Certain states I want to go to, like oceanic states like Florida, California, um, basically like up north. Um, I don't like being around urban cities at all. I just need like some peace because I like to be around the sand and ocean, the beach, get like a peace of mind.
Oh yeah. So I,
Yep.
I did a I did a video last year called "The End of the Beginning," where I talked about my journey to California, to Pismo Beach,
Hmm.
and I emphasized that, especially when you're an old guy like me, it's important to be able to disengage and play just like a kid.
Hmm.
It, be able to just completely disconnect and decompress. It's one of the things that keeps you young at heart.
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
now, I'm a transplanted city boy. And I'm more at home in the forest than anywhere else. But now the beach is my happy place.
Yep. Same here. I haven't forgot about Hawaii too. Hawaii is like my my personal therapeutic place to go to.
Yeah, you'll have to check out that video. It's in the Exile 1 playlist right at the end.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll definitely check that
Yeah,
out.
I tell you, I am neither average or conventional, and my videos show that. Now, unlike a lot of these people that are more famous, I don't feel the need to constantly rant about women.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm going to be doing a commercial today for
Hmm.
the new playlist.
What kind of commercial?
Oh, it's just a short video where I do a prepared statement rather than a full video.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did one. In fact, today is the 2-year anniversary. I'm just calling it that because it was right around Labor Day weekend 2 years ago. I got my first red pill.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a video about it entitled Red Pill Double Tap.
Mm-hmm. Red pill double tap. That sounds pretty dope. I like that.
And my last one is Purpose Refined
Mm-hmm.
because everybody needs a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I have mine. It explains the name change and the avatar.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
basically, I am now a red pill grandpa to my inner circle. I'm like Richard Pryor's Mudbone on crack.
That's a good one. Mudbone on
And
crack. Heard
and
that.
I call myself Mr. Rogers with a shotgun.
Rogers with a shotgun.
Yeah, because when I dress up, I put on a dress shirt and a tie.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do not look like a thug.
Oh, so no more Mr. Nice Guy, so to speak, right?
Oh, no, I am a nice guy.
No, no, no.
But
Like it's like half and half, so to speak.
yeah, it's like I can flip the switch in a New York minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't fuck around with my red pill brothers. In fact, I am going on a terror on Facebook. I told
Mm-hmm.
people straight up, there's a new sheriff in town. Oh, yeah, you're gonna love this. Now there's a lot of shame about sex dolls. The
Oh
trolls
yeah, yes it is.
and jump all over us. And I told him when I did my sheriff announcement, I don't care if you disagree with me, but don't show up just insulting people. That's when I will
Mm-hmm.
get in your face.
Indeed.
So hopefully the admins of some of these Facebook groups will see what I'm doing and help me. So someone posted one saying the feminists want to ban sex dolls. And
Hmm.
actually posted something TFM said. You know, you really don't need a sex doll. You could buy a
Uh,
fleshlight and a teddy bear and
uh,
you've got the functional equivalent. Well, this one troll took my response, blew it up, and said, "See, this proves they're perverts." Now he's thinking
wow.
he's gonna shame me into not talking. I've been talking for months about me having my own sex doll, and I'm working on a video right now where I explain the whole philosophy and experiments about how I can make the experience more real. No shit. So
Mm-hmm.
he thinks he's gonna shame me. Oh hell no! But see, it's the typical deal. That is what leftists do. See, now I stand behind what I said 100% because I live in a
Mm-hmm.
brutal honesty regime. I got no reason to lie. But you
Yeah.
know, I I'm not mad at him for having a different opinion. I'm mad because he acted like a little bitch when he took my words out of context
Yeah.
and gave you a conclusion that has nothing to do with the previous conversation. And they present this as truth. just to fuck with people. That's why they're not gonna shut me up. I already told him he was full of shit, and that was like Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't have Facebook on my phone, which I found out is a great time saver. So I'm not gonna put it on my phone. I had it on my phone so I could collect memes, but then I had to transfer them to the memory card. Now I just do it on the laptop. So now if somebody's talking shit, if he keeps up after I'm gone, I probably won't find him, and I don't need to,
Mm-hmm.
because he has the right to show his ignorance in public.
Right. That's
Coming
like saying,
at it, it's like he thinks he's gonna shame me into silence. He don't know me, or he would know better.
mm-hmm.
And I've told it several times. I live in Boise, Idaho, and I'm real easy to find. If you think you can shut me up in person, come get some.
Yeah, indeed.
And especially these days when you got people ready to double tap you for the crime or wrong thing. I ain't gonna sell my life cheap, and I ain't gonna shut up neither.
Hmm. Yep.
And it's like I told people in my last video. When I do this stuff, it's not a demand that you think like me, because you're not like me. All I'm doing through my humble efforts is to try to get you to think for yourself. What else can a teacher do? The teacher can't take the test for you. The teacher can't force you to pay attention. All he can do is explain things as clearly as possible and provide motivation for you to learn. That's what I do.
Area. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sort of like that
For
too.
for,
I
for
can.
those of you who may not know me, you may know me by my other name of Sifu Black Irish. I was also known as the Exile for a time, and then New Era MGTOW Monk.
Mhm.
When you're in stealth mode, you change your name.
Yeah, that's clever. Okay. No, I can totally relate to what you're saying. Like, I'm sort of like the when I'm like a clown. I have like a clown with a flamethrower mentality. Like, I can flip a minute, like, as soon as you like disrespect me, like out of order and stuff. Because there's like a lot of Sims that are like don't really have any mannerisms at all, but they have mannerism towards women than like men. Because they have like a typical like a female trait, and it's the same people who are jealous. Have
Yeah,
like a
that's because
jealous.
we're stuck in emotional thinking.
Hmm.
And I know from experience, if you live your life in crisis mode, you're basically a blue pilled machine part chasing validation by spending money instead of earning and saving money. That you're constantly putting out fires. It's impossible to plan for the future when you're like
Hmm.
that. And when you're like that, that's when women take advantage of you, because it's proven that when a man is emotional, not in any way upset, or even grief, it short circuits your logical thinking.
Hmm.
And because women are so good in manipulating language, they'll gaslight the shit out of you after abusing you and say,
Oh
well, it was
yeah.
your fault because you didn't do this. My ex did that so much to me. I'm like, wait a minute, how can it be my fault no matter what?
Hmm. Right. It happened the same to me too. Like she would manipulate my feelings and like how I should feel and stuff. And no matter how hard I'm trying to be empathetic and be a normal human being, like she want me to like play out as a horn dog. I don't know if you know what a horn dog is. I don't know if that's like a
Oh yeah,
Midwest term
yeah,
or
I got you.
yeah, like being like a dominant man and like I am dominant. Don't get me wrong. It's just that she want that bad boy dick.
Well, there's a couple of factors in play.
Hmm.
You know, regardless of the stability that you bring to a relationship, they
Hmm.
always have that thrill-seeking element,
Right.
and they think because they are all that in a bag of chips that they can
Hmm.
chisel apart all the bad stuff from him and make remake him into a perfect man.
Hmm.
And the way it was explained to me, and it made sense. You know, men marry women thinking they're going to stay the same, and women marry men thinking they're going to change him to what they
Hmm.
like. So if if she's successful in either changing you or gaslighting you so you lose it, either way, she loses respect for you.
Hmm.
Then her monkey branching away to another man is just a matter of time.
Hmm.
It was nasty in my case too. You know, the pressing emotional buttons to short circuit my logic to break me down, and then losing respect for me because I did break down, and it was
Hmm.
all for her pleasure.
Hmm. They don't. Oh, like yeah, like females are not um like here's the thing though. I don't really get why like females go on social media and they want to befriend you on there, but they don't really talk to you. Like you're just another like a guy in the background and
You're a beta
that's why I
orbiter.
believe,
You're
huh?
you're just in the on deck circle.
Right.
Because you have to remember another important principle. A
Mm-hmm.
woman is only as loyal as her options.
Yep.
And I'll share some more personal experience to, to reinforce this point. Now you know you can be in a relationship with a woman and she's actually seeing three or four other guys, but the way she's playing it is so smooth you think you're the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have been on the other side of that. Now this wasn't in a hardcore full on relationship, but the relationship I had with three women, in my mind, they combined to make the ideal woman. I
Mm-hmm.
have I had a friend with benefits. I had an internet romance and a friendship with a lady I called the nun. And that is not a mark of disrespect. She acts just like me. You know, she's essentially a female monk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, I got enough things from all three of them to satisfy me. And it's like only if I could combine them into one body, it'd be perfect. And that's what women think too. So you can you can think you're friends with a woman, or suddenly that she's not talking. Well, that's because she's busy getting a D from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
If she feels horny or feels like spinning the wheel, or if she's desperate, that's when you'll get contact from her.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with it saying hi or whatever. But I found out if you're not acting like you're so thirsty, you're not gonna make it through the rest of the day without hearing from her. That's when they'll ignore you.
Right.
If I may share another example. Now, this was before my red pill awakening. There is a lady named Red out where I work, and
Mm-hmm.
I was such a dumbass. I was doing all this romantic stuff because I figured we're in an industrial environment. She might appreciate someone treating her like a woman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And once I kissed her hand at work in her work area. If someone else had seen it, I could have gotten fired for sexual assault. So I did all
Mm-hmm.
that, and my only response was one like Facebook Messenger message. She said hi once. And because I didn't respond immediately, I never heard anything else.
Hmm.
Then
Right.
suddenly one day, she shows up. I see her at the beginning of the day when I usually don't see her at all. But by
Mm-hmm.
then, I was over it. I just walked right past her. And it was due to red pill wisdom, but I didn't realize till later when I reconstructed my logic trail that I figured out what was going on. She didn't have a sucker on the hook for Valentine's Day, and that was next week. Now, if she had done that same little cutesy move before, she would have
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But she waited 3 months to do it. Yeah, and it
Man.
was only when she was desperate, like, oh yeah, I know
Hey
you
guys,
like
I'm just
me, but
getting finished up at work, but I'll be able
I'm
to.
just
I'm
gonna
gonna
keep
share some
her.
experiences.
Greetings, Baron Yam. Yeah, oh, go ahead,
Yo.
bro. You jump right on in.
Anytime. But go on ahead, Elder Monk. Continue.
Yeah, so it's like you always have to be on your guard for these
Mm-hmm.
trifling hoes, and especially since the pandemic. Now a lot of them realize how unprepared they are to live life when it's not on double easy mode. So
Facts.
they're gonna have their chameleon skill up to 11 to try to trap a man. Now that they see times are getting tough. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
notice how many feminists have been running their mouths lately about their so-called depression? I'm hearing cricket,
Yep.
and only now, after all this bullshit, are some of them realizing that they've severely overplayed their hand. But for many of them, it's too late. You can't stop a tsunami, baby.
Mm-hmm. You can't really stop it. You can't even like females can't really can't stop running their mouths. You know, like every time somebody get into like especially a physical altercation, like with a guy or like with somebody else. Like say if her boyfriend got into altercation with the police or with somebody else, then there's like a female crowd that's like keeps screaming and screaming and encouraging it. Like it's just another
I see it happen
hoorah.
in the workplace too. Like when somebody gets corrected, it's like they always
Mhm.
want to argue or place blame on somebody else, and it's just like, that's fine and all, but at some point you're gonna have to grow and take responsibility. And I feel like they just push off that short term embarrassment, which I guess probably leads to like them like people just not having a good perception of them in general. And I think
Mhm.
that's just indicative of a larger issue with them not being able to take responsibility.
Yes, and as part of the larger issue, you're hearing women say, well, all you do is treat me like a sex object. Like, well, what else are you bringing to the table besides sex? You've heard
Mhm.
your
Right.
whole that this is the, the metric you can use to live your life by. So, like you were saying, Kira, what kind of conversation are they saying? They're talking about selfies and Instagram posts and And Twitter stuff. What celebrity is mad at who today?
Right.
Right.
Who's on who? It's like, well, there's not a whole lot of depth to that conversation. What else can you talk about? And they get offended. That's when you hear that. Well, I don't need to change for you. You need to accept me the way I am. So, well, it depends on where I'm shopping. If I'm shopping at Neiman Marcus, I don't expect to see something that belongs at the flea market.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And now, I mean, Baron Yam is right there in the middle of it, at work. And I mean, Baron Yam is bona fide. He's 40 years younger than me, and he's got all this wisdom. So he can navigate that treacherous minefield.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and at work, when you can't get away from the women, it's rough.
It
You got to
is.
keep everything on a tight leash, be absolutely professional and in public. And I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest having your own means of recording audio and video. Because when the accusation comes up, the hammer immediately goes to you. And even if you're in a place that has surveillance, it's kind of funny how office surveillance video and body cam footage just disappears when it's needed the most. And it don't matter if it's illegal in your state. You go scorched earth. I mean, the moment the accusation comes out, where's the video? Let's see. And if there's not an instant response, they'll say, well, great, I'll see you in court. Then you go on social media and you share the shit out of your own to show exactly what happened. Because that going scorched earth is the only way to stop these
Finally.
bitches from killing innocent men.
True
Mm-hmm.
story. Yeah. Yeah. I think that like the suicide rate, and it's something where like I don't believe in suicide because I believe that people are not they're not an island. Like a man is not an island. So
Quite true.
if the environment around you is tainted or is blighted, then
Mm-hmm.
you wilting and you being less strong and less supported is not just something that you can pull yourself out of. Like if you need to, you have to change your environment because that's what's causing like the sickness. That's what's causing the blight. Is like the soil being not nutrient rich or being like unable. Oh, sorry. I was actually talking right there. But
Nope.
yeah.
I'm good.
No, it's like yeah. I mean, I don't believe in suicide for the fact that no person is an island, and all these other people play a huge role in their life, being the way that it is, all tumultuous. And so, the fact that yeah, you said it, that like it's leading to so much death and so much widespread issues that it's just become a huge problem, and somebody needs to pay for it one way or the other. But like, I think the reason why men have kind of gone into their I guess they're into their own head when it comes to being trapped in these relationships is that they don't have the words to actually articulate their enslavement, because all the words that they have, like relationship and take care of her and make sure that she's good, that's all baked in. That has indoctrination baked into it,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where like a man can't actually ask for something tangible that for a woman to provide without being seen as misogynistic. So it's just one of those things where you can't participate, and you have to figure out a way to somehow block out all the haters and block out all the people giving you those standard shaming lines. And once you get past that, then you can actually say that you're beginning to work on yourself. But until then, it's all basically, yeah. It's like at work, like today, like I just got out, and it was hard because, yeah, I wanted to contribute to the stream, but it's not like I can speak my mind the way that the women do at my workplace, because it's frowned upon the way that I think, even though it's less criminal and it's more honest. That's just how it is. And yeah, you guys were sharing experiences, which I couldn't do, but now that I'm able to talk, there was this situation where a woman I was dating, she would say, and I'll definitely like clean it up, but she was saying like, you know, screw me, like it's the last time you're ever gonna see me. So she would say stuff like this. And like I don't know. I think that's like what married couples sometimes they role play in order to spice it up. It was kind of like getting to that point in the relationship. Granted, we had not relationship, the situation. Granted, we'd only been like seeing each other for a few years or a couple years at max. So I don't, and it's just shameful because she probably was seeing other people, or she was interested in other people, and that's why she kind of wanted the sex to be something even more freaky, even more rough than I could provide, or even more something than I can provide. And that's like, as men, we take responsibility for that when that's really just a flaw in how these young women are raised, for the most part. Yeah. And it's also how we're raised to try to like please them and take personal and spiritual hits just to please them. Like,
yeah, and
so low.
And we see with the way feminism works, they've done a fantastic job of removing all the traditional obligations for women while keeping all of them on men as much as they can.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the limitation of I guess punishment for bad deeds. You have right now defund the police, which is definitely it's taking away responsibility for are single mothers raising criminals, and it's putting it it's laying it at the feet of the police to say that, oh, it's your fault that people are dying and killing each other at such a high rate, because the police are scaring everyone into acting this way, when no, it's more like they're just raised to not know right from wrong and to be emotional, kind of like what you guys are saying.
Exactly. Yeah, the statistics that correlate to how many males were raised in a single mother home are shocking. I can't remember any numbers right off the bat, but I think it's north of 80% of men in prison. And that's shocking.
Yeah, I mean, trust. Like, I do talk a lot, and I do have some characteristics of being raised by a single mother. My dad was there for me early on in life, up until the time when I was about 8 years old. And even so, you could say that once I left into the arms of my mother, it was something where he didn't really have the ability to be there for me. Like, I feel like a lot of the moments that I was supposed to have, I missed out on with him. And we could tell that when we talk now, because it's more just like distance, or where I'm almost to the age where we can be friends, but it's just like the dad son dynamic is not as it's still powerful because of how early he was in my life and how much he tried to teach me in that time. But it's definitely like the way that I talk to about drama. Sometimes you can tell that I still have some emotional tendencies.
Oh, everyone does, but especially for a red pill man, that's why stoicism is so important. once you study and apply those principles, you will not just be able to endure negative emotions, but transcend them.
And thrive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm. True. True. And I mean that's kind of why I like to be at work, because it's actually testing my hypotheses and stuff on life, as opposed to just being in a base, like dwelling in a basement and living off of someone else and having this worldview. I would say that's more destructive, or it's less therapeutic. I guess you could say, and more when I do it now, it's like, yeah, at any moment I could be or persecuted for the way that I think, but I'm ready 100% of the time, because I
Yeah,
have structure in my life, I have discipline, and I'm looking for it. So most of the time, I'm looking for it.
yeah,
Unless I
exactly.
feel like I'm in danger, there's no reason for me not to live my life to the fullest of like capabilities. And I'm like thinking like Akira's red pill, like a blind assassin, like that's why I'm saving or earning money and saving it, because I want to be able to do the things um that people only fantasize about.
Exactly.
That's all I
Gotta
want.
take advantage of your opportunities. Well,
Right.
Mhm.
bros, this has been a long day for me already. I'm pretty much running on coffee and carrot cake.
Indeed.
He's out of
Relentless
here,
is gonna, hopefully True Sherm's gonna stream today. If not, then I'll
but
probably
I
just
will.
chill out and
I'll
see.
be putting out a commercial video a little later.
Yeah, we'll see
That's
that
a
one.
good
That'll be good.
idea.
Kind of like a milepost marker.
Yeah,
And then back
that's a
uh,
good idea.
working on my next video about the waifu laifu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Never hated on it. I just wanted to test your MGTOW tenant chops, because I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that to you. Because
Yeah.
I,
Well,
as
as
per we were talking
you
about color.
as you should. You know, I
Of
got
course,
nothing bad to say about you, brother. You're bona fide.
absolutely, man. We're MGTOW for life. After
It's our life.
no matter what we've been through in the past, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna slip on out of here. MGTOW for life,
Yeah.
monk for life. And a question for you to consider: are you a warrior or a slave?
Thank you, man. It's good talking to you. Have a good day.
Yeah. All right. Nice talking to you, Baron.
Oh yeah, yeah. You gonna end this out?
Oh no. Nah. Yeah, I was just gonna just talking to him, but I was just gonna like keep going about like my whole idea about this stream battle is like not you can't like renovate masculinity in terms
Oh yeah,
of
trust me, dude. That's that's been like something I've been trying to tell people, but they don't
yeah.
want to listen, because they feel like where they're at in life, they can't categorize it as masculinity, so they have to create a dream world, or create a vision of the future,
Mm-hmm.
where they have some time to work on it. And it's easy as just admitting that that, like what you're saying specifically, masculinity can't be defined, but also
Mm-hmm.
that you're either complete or incomplete as a person, just in general.
Yeah.
And once you adhere to that philosophy, that will
Mm-hmm.
that will shed light. I think that will shed light on who you are, and that you shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
bound by masculinity and femininity or any of this stuff. I would say just, yeah, that's I like the title. I like the title of it,
Mm-hmm.
because it's true. You can't. There's no way you can train somebody to go against their genetics.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that somebody can. I guess there's no way that somebody can physically, or I guess mentally, escape the matrix, because we're all born into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't really do it because it's naturally embedded in you. Like no matter how are you trying to, like for a prime example, like people talking about Bruce Jenner, and I don't know what kind of moniker he used later on, but like he chopped off his his private parts and he wanted to be a lady, but at the end of the day, he's still masculine because he was born naturally masculine.
Mhm.
But the media is trying to encourage and make it seem like it's positive to like men to like be like the opposite sex and like shy away from your true origins of being masculine.
Mhm. And
It's
it's
not
not
right.
even, and no, because yeah, but like, and it's the fact that they want us to know what women want more. Did you hear what
Mm-hmm.
I said? So yeah, so they want us to know what women want so that we can provide it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that that's something that's innate in any individual. So it's like some people say like, oh, I was born and raised to be a pimp, or I was born and raised to know what women want, or I was trained in this. And it's like that's pretty much a sign of your indoctrination, of your entry into the blue pill, or your initiation into the blue pill matrix. Is
Mm-hmm.
if you know, the more you know about women, the more like I guess it's just saying the more resources and assets you're funneling into the system
Mm-hmm.
in certain
Yeah.
ways. Like don't get me wrong, your knowledge can protect you, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much about your overall emotional intelligence
Right.
with that knowledge, because you could be just spilling your guts out you could be spilling your guts out about everything you know, and it's still not going right for you, and then you just feel like walls are caving in sometimes. That's how it can kind of come across for me at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I hear these simps talking about how their relationships, and they're talking bad about the person that they're with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, why do you tolerate that bad behavior? And how
Yeah.
does it make you better that you are tolerating it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of people, that's what a lot of people think is core to them being masculine, is their ability to withstand all this mental abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's almost like they argue that point, but then they have amnesia about it, because they literally say that they literally complain about how it's affecting them, but then they also think that enduring it is what makes them a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't make any sense at all. Because if you have like mental instability in a relationship to begin with, like you said, like why tolerate it? And then like you're basically like again with the media, you're basically been congested with like falsification of like how to like be a man. Like for example, like Baby Boy or like Shaft. There's no other way around like being how to be a true masculine man. It's just that like there's like a really like a spiritual destitution. You know, there's no way around it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that right now you have a lot of people in America tearing down statues, when that's like pretty much what we need in order to, I guess, have continuity between generations. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you need some level of solid art to be able to uh to recognize, like, when you're walking about your normal life. And I think
Yeah.
they got rid of the statues. My next thing is like these cities that we're living in, which are just like
Mm-hmm.
solidified ideas about what the world should be, you could put it.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are going to be largely obsolete moving forward, because of like the
Right.
way that I think the way that like people get priced out of their own houses, and they're not able to make a living wage. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like anything solid, anything tangible that reminds these people of the patriarchy, or reminds simps that this isn't the one generation to party it up and live it up and get as much tail as they can get, um,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better term. I think that's all going to disappear. and it's like, what are we going to be left with? Like you could say it's just like, you know, rap music and graffiti uh, and just I don't know, just like you said, yeah, destitution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just not. The one thing about it is like I can't really wait, not wait, but like they're um like I feel like they're gonna be like obsolete or the declination of like clubs and like bars like due to like the you know the downfall of like communication between like the opposite sex. You know,
Oh
because
yeah.
you have like because people
Well,
like I remember.
it's been happening this whole time. It's funny to hear people talk about it. Like if you look
Mhm,
on any of those dating coach channels, they're like, yeah, the sexual marketplace is very different than how it was, and it's much harder to do this, blah blah blah. And it's like, well,
mhm,
if you, however early back it was like MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, all these platforms were created. That's when social cohesion began to break down. I mean, the
mhm,
one the type that we long for when you look at the dating coach community, it's
mhm.
been gone and it's been deteriorated for a long time. And I don't know. I think this is more productive route because you know men are just working on themselves and getting themselves right instead of trying to become like a part of this messed up puzzle piece, like a weird jigsaw puzzle.
Mhm. Yeah, they just don't want to
And it's
become
costing
that
the system a
sophisticated.
lot of resources. Like
Uh-huh.
like you got so many things going out of business, so many things that don't make sense anymore. All the TV is just focused on drama to
Mhm.
get people to like stay planted and have I actually just watched The Boys. Have you seen The Boys?
The
That
boys.
superhero movie? It's like a mature rated superhero movie. They literally it's like a soap opera with superheroes. It's
Mhm.
literally so dumb.
Huh.
But yeah. And then like a lot of the men, like one of the superheroes gets me too'd.
Mhm.
So then like he gets and it he and so like he works for this superhero company. He gets me too'd. And then like you see his life play out and just in ruins and stuff. And it kind of makes you wonder like what their overall plan is with men heading into the future. Like, do they want men to make sexual advances on them? It doesn't seem like it. But so far you have social media and everything creating an environment where like low value men can approach. But I don't think they want high value men to approach for the sheer fact that they're waiting on they're pretty much waiting on us to sort of like co-sign on these lower value men approaching them and validating them, and we're just flat out saying that that's not acceptable. Like
Mhm.
it's just not good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, because I don't really approach women really in general. It's just that like I'm just pretty much I like to be in solitude and I've been like observing like females like how they carry themselves and their gestures and like well the modern day female like around my age and I'm like 28 years old and
Mhm.
they don't like they can be really confident or confide into something like technological realistic but let them like the opposite sex they actually are really scared to talk to them and that's just really weird. I just realized that a few years.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to talk to them. I'm just aware of what they know. I'm aware of how they view me and how they view any situation
Mhm,
interacting with me.
mhm,
Um, and you know, just for that sheer fact, it pays to have that no bullshit or no nonsense or nonchalant attitude, because
Mhm.
even though you're to yourself, if you're too aloof, I think nobody nobody's invincible, but like I feel like still you could, if you don't interact at all, you could have
Mhm.
some sort of negative consequences. So I keep that in the back of my mind as a young person, because I know that older people who are probably doing this MGTOW red pill thing, they might suffer for it more just because they're kind of like women who get a certain age without being married. They have like a
Mhm.
stigma on them.
Right.
Whereas like our huge hump to get over is just that what we want from a woman right now, it's like women don't really want us if we're a if we're trying to be a good, honest person and make like an honest living. Like
Mhm.
they don't want that. Janky Show put out a good video about it where he was talking about dating apps and stuff. And yeah, like it's like me with gaming. There's been a lot of relationships where girls are like, it's either me or the game. And
Uh-huh.
I just want to tell them, kind of a similar thing. Like if she was using the dating app before she met you, or any sort of
Uh-huh.
thing to detach from communication, then she's going to be detached from communication when she's in the relationship with you. And no matter how much she tries to talk to you, it's not going to work. No matter
Mhm.
how much you approach her to talk about it, she's never really invested in you, so she's not going to give you the honest advice. She's going to give you whatever she thinks you need to hear in order for you to give her more resources.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean, you can call it like a little bit cynical, but that's how I view it. That's how I view a majority of relationships now.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't like it now, especially. Um, I went through like a really funny one. Yet it was like really terrible because like she didn't know how to cook. She can't even run, which is pretty attention seeking. Uh, she can't even um, let's see. I can't even do laundry because she questioned me how I do my laundry and stuff. Yeah, like females like that want to act tough and like want to have like depend on relationship, but yet they don't know how to like drive a car. I'm just saying they can't really do like decent things in life, like essential needs. You know,
Well,
it's
I just did it's like decision making because a woman can get what she needs. Like a
Mhm.
woman can be good at getting what she needs, but that doesn't mean she's good at being in a relationship with another person. Like I notice this about a
Mhm.
lot of women that they can be in a relationship and they can still feel independent. Whereas like a guy, when he's in a relationship, he's betting that the other person is going to pretty much uh, complete him and complement him and solve the issues that he has in life, because men have real problems in life, for the most part,
Mhm.
and women have problems with self-esteem. That's why men have like the ability, or men have a tendency to be destructive, and women have a tendency make make appearances look better.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean it sucks that because of because like you have low value men going after women on social media, you have a
Mhm.
lot of you see a lot of these destructive behaviors and this like illusions and stuff out on Front Street, when really it's not supposed to be like that. Like just men and women aren't supposed to like really, we're not really supposed to be aware of that, and we shouldn't be, as
Mhm.
we're scared into this MGTOW stuff. I think um, a lot of people are not trying to talk bad about it, but that's like the way I view it, sometimes, and it's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird, but it is what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, like us men, we love unconditionally, and women love conditionally. And Sims never get through their thick skull until later in life.
Yeah,
I have to
right.
learn that the hard way.
Yeah, and like I like that's why I like Tico's channel, because he kind of does something funny that makes people just shocked, because he has conditions, he has standards, he has things that would make a normal person who's a simp just just their eyes roll back in their head because they're like, how can you say no to Poonie? It's just like, yeah, the incredulity that I think the attitude of people that people have towards people who have men who have standards is just astronomical. Like, I don't think anybody has been, or I don't think anybody has the actual mindset, or like, I don't think a majority of people have the mindset to actually think critically about the relationships that they create and then like destroy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just love that I can take responsibility for all my relationships and know where I screwed up, because that gives me all my power back. Like I can't be I can't really build on nothing. So you have to start somewhere, and that somewhere for me, if you're asking me, is figuring out what happened in all those relationships and stuff, and then just moving on from it.
Yeah, I'm just like moving on. I recently reading scriptures and stuff from the Bible, and it just helps me a lot to like get through the day and stuff. And like all I have is just me, really. Like I don't know if it makes sense to you, but I always say like to other people, like self validation matters. You know, like you have to like have validation for yourself, for have validation with others, especially with like minded people. I had to I had to gather that, like I had to reevaluate myself and gather my power
Yeah, I
back and
mean
gain
that
mental improvement.
that validation is, I think it's all about having fun too, because I think a lot of the validation that we seek is through a darker channel or through a tighter channel, so we're always worried about actually receiving the validation. So it's like the anticipation that I think is addictive to people. Like, oh, as soon as I have a good relationship, then I will be validated, as opposed to I guess if a validating relationship comes along, I have the options open to be able to select that for my life. You know, I think they like there's a lot of effort that's exerted to get validation, when, you know, if people had good self validation from the start, they wouldn't have to work as hard to get what they wanted. It's not that you have to change what you want. I don't think, because as a man, you are who you are. You like what you like, so there's no reason to change up. But yeah, there's just this like there's this I guess mentality that if things aren't going your way, then you have to just like try. You have to try to force yourself to get things your way, and I think that leads to a lot of problems.
Right.
For people.
Yeah, this no people just have like trouble having like struggle of being like selves, or like have a self acquiescence of, you know, should I do this and should I do that? Like even though like they do it just for attention, even though they hurt themselves. And people are just like nothing but like a walking fear factor.
Yeah,
I say that
I mean, it used to be that people who are rejects or whatever, they used to
yeah.
hide out in the alleys and not want to be seen, but it's almost completely reversed now. It's like good people have to hide their face and like and protect themselves from the stupidity of others. And people who are vile, people who are disgusting, they parade around in public like they're the status quo.
Right.
And it's just sad. I mean, it's just sad, but it's the way that it is. And I don't think you can't pursue both paths. Like you can't work on skills that are going to protect you and keep you out of trouble. At the same time, you know, being really out front and outspoken and protesting all this stuff, because it's not going to change. Like it's going the direction it's going, whether you like it or not. The only thing you can really
Mhm.
change is yourself in the situation, and be like, I'm not gonna take this. I'm not gonna take this crap. I'm gonna go my own way, and fuck what happens.
Mhm. No, it's I don't like a lot of inboxes. Yeah, like me, I like people won't say it to my face, but I've been like called weird, and just because I think outside the box, and those same people who tell me these things, like they're actually depressed themselves by looking at their face. And
Hmm.
what? Like they live a boring life. Like why should I like look up to
Well,
you?
it's like and that's the thing. It's like I was telling you earlier. They want you to co-sign on their boring life because you provide the value in it, in your attention, in your emotions. When people tell you that people have died, or people tell you that people have gone homeless because of all this stuff, the fact that you have
Mhm.
no emotions means that they don't have any they can't grab any energy out of you. And
Mhm.
that's what is, I think, is the uh, vampire hiding in the shadows. These like people don't realize that when they say certain things, they're trying to get a reaction out of somebody to fuel them to keep doing the bad behavior.
Mhm.
And
Um,
it's
a lot of like non expression. Um, like they can be really expressionless, but the same weird people that have like full like they're like weird people like me are smart. Like people don't real they fail to realize that, and they can just be stuck in their little bubble and be limited to like activities that I do and they will never do. I mean, no offense.
hmm I mean, like, since I'm young, I've had people try to rub experiences in my face a lot, and
Hmm.
I think that comes with the territory of being a free thinker, or being
Hmm.
a person that doesn't think inside the box, because the only
Hmm.
thing that they can approach you with is things from inside the box. So
Hmm.
whenever they're talking to you, it's almost like you don't, even though you're looking in their eyes, you don't actually see what they see, because everything they see is collapsed down into a box. And as a person that thinks outside the box, you're looking at them pretending like they're
Hmm.
happy inside this box, when when you see the whole world like around them. And I know that sounds very, very, very condescending, but yeah, it's that's how it is for people, certain people who live in the blue pill mindset, where
Hmm.
they don't see people who think like you as valid, having a valid argument in life, since you have nothing to show for it.
Right.
And it's something that it's something that's, it's like I think it's like a disease of how permissive our culture is, that any value, if it's not shown, is just taken, discarded. Like, if you can't show it, people won't believe it. So
Hmm.
it's like anything that's cultural, anything that comes from like a spiritual, non-visible place. No one agrees to it, as long as it doesn't follow like what's inside the box, for all intents and purposes, or what's conventionally
Hmm.
known. So yeah, I think as young people, we're supposed it should be our duty to share with the older generation things that they don't see. But I don't think that they, nor the people that they indoctrinate, care enough to actually want to see or hear what we have to say. And it's
Hmm.
something that something that I do all the time in the red pill, is I try to like project my level of clarity onto someone else who think is being nice, or like being agreeable towards my view, but they don't actually care about me. They don't actually care about what I view. If they knew the full extent of what I viewed, of what I thought, they would probably ostracize me, and they would probably blacklist me
Hmm.
for what I said. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to be able to just communicate what you know, or yeah, what's appropriate for whatever situation, so that you're not really turned into this like pariah or something where you're just alienated or something like that. Yeah, because like don't get me wrong, I love my solitude, but I also realize, like I was saying before, it's like you can't just get everything done as one person. You have to rely on other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Yeah,
take that.
that's kind of how I see it. Yeah, what are your thoughts on being or on kind of like this whole collectivist thing that we have going on? Because I'm Asian, so I was raised in kind of like a more collectivist
Mm-hmm.
culture, and it's funny because the standards that they put on you as a child are
Mm-hmm.
more like very few people will ever be able to live up to them. And so they put them onto you in the hopes that if you don't live up to them, then it's kind of like natural selection almost. So it's like it's almost like yeah, you live up to the standards or we disown you is the kind of
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people see that as abuse, you know. But it's one of those things where if you're not going to teach somebody to live up to an impossible standard, then you kind of have like this other side where everyone gets validation, everyone gets told that they're doing a great job, everyone gets told, you know, that everything's gonna be fine, that they're the best, that they're stunning and brave, and then you get what we have in America with like people being really entitled.
Mm-hmm. You said collectivism. What's collectivism? I'm trying to figure that out.
Collectivism is when people think in terms as a group. Is
Mm-hmm.
when they have the way that they view the world is as are connected to someone else. Like people who grow up in a collectivist setting are more likely to refer themselves as a mother of someone or a sister of someone, a brother or father or son of someone. Whereas in the
Mm-hmm.
individualist culture, you see like a lot of these women on Facebook, they'll change their last name to their middle name or something, or they'll try to pretend like they're separate from their family.
Mm-hmm.
Or and that would be considered, I guess, a staunch opposite of collectivism. Um, uh, but it's kind of one of those things where it's just a group mentality. It's just more of a group mentality. Like you see all these women, they dress the same, like yoga pants, coral, seafoam green, like yellow. All the Victoria's Secret colors are pretty much
Mm-hmm.
like the mainstream,
Yeah.
and yeah, and like the quote unquote professional dress for women is much more, it's much more relaxed and much more like they're able to be much more creative. Whereas like if you're creative as a man, when you dress the way that you dress, you're ostracized or you're seen as like the Joker. Or a friend of mine who would always wear like he would wear like the long socks, then he would roll his pant legs up, and they would be like skinny pants, and then like he would be wearing like Converse or something. He just looked like very unorthodox. Like he looked like he was like a an independent indie film director or something. Just like somebody who's just like super creative but not doesn't really pay attention to style. He was kind of a lot of people picked on him because he didn't fit in. He didn't do it. Whereas like if a woman's walking around all like frumpy looking, like no one's gonna say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's something I noticed. Like nobody really bats an eye when a woman's walking around all frumpy, all not put together.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, it kind of remind me of the time when like women like when we compliment a woman. I mean nowadays especially it's frowned upon. But if we dress like really tacky or something, like especially like in the black community, or like put like a ugly like some ugly hideous attire, then it's praised. I'm just saying
Mhm.
it's it's really praised.
And women are very quick to defend each other.
Hmm.
Like even though they might look or act improper,
Hmm.
you can't call that out around another woman because that woman will defend the woman as opposed to taking your side as a rational, discerning male. And then
Hmm.
what that does is it makes it so that the dating market is terrible for men because they can't even avoid they can't avoid the bad stuff about the women that they don't want to date because the
Hmm.
women that they do want to date won't distance themselves from them, and they won't be an individual. They'll always think with this collective mindset that all those women could be my friend. None of those women would ever betray me. All the like that you as a man are more likely to betray me than all these women because we're powerful together,
Hmm.
and it's just off-putting. It's really off-putting as a guy to be like you like somebody like the way that they think, but then you know that they're surrounded by a bunch of people that are basically going to help destroy your relationship in the future.
Hmm. Right. And yeah, women are likely quickly to they're more likely to cheat than men because they're more elusive and they just don't want to like talk about it. Versus us men, if we cheat, then we get killed for it. And that's no way around it. It's like a basically like a physical punishment.
Yeah, and then we also don't move on as fast
Hmm.
because there isn't as many options for us. So we have
Hmm.
more time. We have more time to reflect on our decisions and figure out what we did bad. Whereas like a woman has
Hmm.
no time to plan for the future relationships because someone is always trying to initiate sex with her and or initiate conversation with her and or initiate some sort of like commitment, be it short term or long term. Because
Hmm.
for some reason, it's not even a confusing issue. Women are more independent now than they ever have been. They make more resources, they have more privileges, they have more options. So low
Hmm.
value men seek to want to attach themselves to her the same way that they'd want to attach themselves to a man who has a lot of resources for all intents and purposes. You know, they're viewed in the same light. Like women and
Hmm.
men are high value regardless. They're gonna attract low value men to them
Hmm.
just as a result of it. So it's kind of like that's why you probably get troll. Have you ever gotten a troll on your channel before?
What troll did I get?
Have you ever gotten a troll on your channel
Oh,
before?
I did. It was some like hotline about girls and stuff, and it was like some sort of spam.
Oh yeah. Hot girls dot something. Yeah, I got that. I get those too.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I mean like a real like a not a bot or spam, like somebody who really just is trying to argue against you for no reason, not actually providing any information or any sort of perspective. They're just trying to say you're wrong, or they're just trying to insult you and throw some attacks at you.
Yeah, that actually happened to me when I first got on the red pill. It doesn't happen to me a lot, fortunately. Um, like I do get like silly comments about like you shouldn't like be eating like when you do like a video and stuff. And I mean that's about it. I never get like trolled on really.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you, but I've never seen something wrong with how people eating. It's kind of
Yeah.
like it depends if you wanted to be professional, you could do it that way, but you don't have to not eat. I've eaten in my videos, yeah.
Yes, but the video I was doing though was like the only my thoughts on the OnlyFans video, and I got like 30 likes on that video, and that was like the most viewed video on my channel ever so far. So
Wow, nice.
yeah, like I like that was like the highest view, and that was like back in April. Yeah, this past April. So like it was like really inevitable. I had like 30 comments and 30 likes, so I was happy about that.
Like,
Huh?
yeah, and people on YouTube are kind of thirsty for views, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like one of those things where it's kind of like one of those things where not everybody's gonna like what you have to say, but it's kind of one of those things where
Hmm.
you just have to like what you say, and you have to say screw it, screw whoever disagrees with you, you know.
Hmm. No, it's just like when I first started my YouTube videos, I just like had to like walk on eggshells, especially about like MGTOW videos. I did best I can. I mean, however, I do have like AJ Chronicles, other like few MGTOW channels that like came by, get some of my general comments, and it didn't hurt a lot, because I was related to the MGTOW realm and like
Hmm.
speak and view my red pill values and thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it took me a while to even go to start watching content when I first found out about MGTOW, because I was like, if I start to go onto these channels, I'm gonna become a troll because I'm not even fully processed through it yet, and I'm gonna disagree a lot with what people have to say about it.
Hmm.
So I had to think about it for myself for at first and do my own research before I
Hmm.
even started to delve deeper into the topic, because I know that about certain things that, like, when you're watching a movie, it's like
Hmm.
if you judge it if you judge the way that certain people are acting in the movie, you lose the overall what it's about, or you don't you
Hmm.
got to suspend your disbelief almost in order to get the information properly from the movie. And that's kind of how I view the whole red pill thing. It's like you do need to think about life as being a little bit, or you having options and stuff, and having the ability to change the way that you're seeing things just for the moment when you're on YouTube.
Hmm. Right.
I think that helps a lot. It's just having an imagination, you know, just like you said, just thinking outside the box.
Hmm.
Pretty much all it is. And it's sad that people don't have that skill, and they want to blame you for not being able to cater your message to them properly. When it's like there's so many different channels out there. If you didn't like how I said it, you could get it the same stuff from this person, and you might agree.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
it's like what I'm saying with like the whole collectivist thing. It's like as long as they can dehumanize you, they don't have to listen to a word you say, and same vice versa. So I don't know. It's kind of like you gotta try to hear where somebody's coming from, and one thing I've learned to do is, like, if I can sort of see where somebody's going, uh, to try to like play to try to I guess try to like I just pretend like I don't know as much, just so I can get them to like speak a little bit more on the subject, so I can get a better idea of where they're coming from. Because if I
Right.
jump in too quick, I probably would just like, I guess, make myself look more of an a hole. But it's like one of those things where I'm gonna be an a hole regardless, pretty much. It's just how much you're gonna like it depends on how long I'm listening to you for.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's not all about being perfect on making YouTube videos, because nowadays you have like makeup tutorials, and you have like other videos that like make memes of like vines and stuff. Then people get like a thrill out of that, but when it comes to like the truth and like getting out the matrix, people are just starting to really like just push away from it.
Mhm. Well, I mean, we did kind of get this little niche of amateurish content on YouTube because whatever the subject matter is, people don't really even care as long as it sounds good for the most part. Like people who actually like or doing MGTOW, I've seen people who they watch Sandman and they watch Coach Greg Adams and they watch Gundam and they watch Leafy and they watch MGTOW in the Wind and they watch Shinobi One and they watch me, my channel, they watch you. So it's like there's like a scale of production quality that they say they don't really need it to be looking perfect. And we also have learned from past YouTubers that the more perfect and pristine your channel is, if Susan doesn't like it, then she's more likely to like give it a strike or try to take it down. So it pays to know the algorithm and be able to work around it. And sometimes that means going for like a less polished look.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this has been great, man. Talking to you. I'm gonna go work on some videos and then just kind of relax because I just got off work. But you take care, buddy. Have a good one. Be safe.
You too, man. I'll see you in the next live stream.
Yep. See ya.
All right.
And thank you everybody who was listening, man. This guy's really smart.
Thanks.
Yeah. He's got chops for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. Barry, I'm out. Peace.
All right.
Later, Tyson. Bye.
Peace. All right, man. About to end this live stream and back go some skateboarding. And I am out. Stay MGTOW. Stay positive. Stay clean. I'm out. Peace. All right, about to end this now. Leave studio. Let me try this and broadcast.